We've spoken before, Jessica, about what it's like to live in an awful situation at home. And without getting into all the detail of that, could you give us a sense, and for people at home to understand what we're talking about tonight, what is it like to live in a regime like that?
It's really hard because you're constantly on edge and you're watching what you're doing and what you're saying, and you're waiting on an argument to start. And I think the pandemic has brought more opportunity for conflict. There's new things happening in relationships that weren't happening a couple of weeks ago. People have lost their jobs. There's a lot of uncertainty, and people don't normally spend this much time together. It's really intense to spend this. When you get on with somebody, it can be intense, you know.
Yes.
But if there's conflict, I can't begin to imagine how hard it is to be stuck there 24/7 and have no outlet.
I often wonder, does the domestic abuser, the oppressor, if you like, always look for some little things constantly to get at you at?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're cocooning, or at least socially isolating or staying at home, there's so much opportunity for unpleasantness and cruelty.
Yeah, and even with the children, you know, the children, without realising what they're doing, can nearly trigger incidents by being too loud or, you know, not listening. And there's so many opportunities for that to happen now.
Yeah.
The kids are not in school, nobody's going to work. It's 24/7. So it's that, trying to manage the kids and make sure that everybody is okay, and trying to keep everything like treading on eggshells. I know we say it all the time, and it's a term that we use a lot, but that's what it's like.
Yeah. You're on edge the whole time. Your stomach must be in a knot constantly.
Yeah.
What if you're in a housing estate or an apartment block, and people here tonight watching the show at home hear thumping and kicking and punching and screaming? What should people do without wanting? They might think, that's not my problem, I'm not getting involved. Or should they do something else?
Absolutely. I think sometimes the attitude is, if she wants to call the guards, she'd call them herself.
Yes.
Let's not get involved. But not everyone has access to a phone. Without a crisis, or without a fight, or without a physical altercation, a lot of people don't have access to a phone. Your phone might have been smashed. You might just not be allowed to have a phone. Don't assume that somebody is not calling the guards because they don't want to. They may not be able to call the guards. So if you do become aware of an incident unfolding, I would absolutely encourage anybody who hears some sort of domestic to call the guards. My neighbours saved my life. You know, I needed that bystander intervention, or I probably wouldn't be here. It's so important that people step up when they know something's happening, and that they try to help.